and it's being recorded for everyone's concern. We are on a Zoom meeting. All the members are unmuted. All the public are muted. That's until we have a chance to speak. If anyone is not familiar with that, on the phone, I think it's *6, and on the screen here, you'll be asked to unmute, and at which time you'll be able to talk. So that's it for the Zoom. We're also going to be considering in the future going back to public meetings. I heard that somewhere out there. Be nice to see everybody face to face again. And if we could do roll call now.
Sure. I'll do roll call. Larry Bender.
Present.
I'm Sue Morgenthaler.
I'm here.
Lynette Tornotsky.
Here.
Yael Corin.
I'm here.
Lindy Owen. Robin McPeak.
Here.
And Julie Tacker.
And Julie's excused tonight from the meeting.
From the whole meeting?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
We have all but Lindy.
Okay. She's usually a couple minutes late, so we'll see. Next thing is chairperson's announcements, and I don't have any announcements for tonight's meeting. Any committee members' announcements? Not seeing any hands go up, so we'll pass on that. Next, we're going to have public comment for items not on the agenda. We try to limit those to about 3 minutes, so it doesn't take too long. Are there anyone out there in the public like to make a comment? Raise your hand. I'm not seeing any raised hands. Anybody else seeing raised hands?
No.
Okay. So no public comment. Thanks. So approval of minutes from our last meeting in February. Anyone like to make a motion?
I'll make a motion that we approve the minutes from our last meeting in February 2022. I'll second that.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Take that as majority. All the minutes are approved. For the agenda items, moving on to those, we had a request 00009, the Lion Project, building a house on Madeira. We had some last minute information or concerns about this project. So we are going to table this project until we hear back from the county. We asked the county for clarification on it, and we have not heard a response from the county yet. So we're going to table this this project until our next meeting in April. So I'm sorry for the folks about this project, but until there's clarification. Jeff, I see you've got your hand up. Jeff Edwards, we can ask him, can we unmute him here for a minute?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Do you copy?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, very good. The information from the county is somewhat news to me. Can you elaborate on what they've raised or what the questions are? Because again, this is quite new to us. I'm not aware of any county issues.
Well, there was some concerns about elevations and water runoff drainage, and So we've asked the county for clarification on them, and we have not heard back.
Okay, well, the height limit is fairly set, and we have a grading plan and a drainage plan. So I'm not really sure what the issues are. In Cabrillo Estates, as you know, it's very standardized, and that is the height. And Cabrillo also has a subdivision-wide drainage system, unlike most neighborhoods in Los Osos. So really don't know what the problem is. And frankly, we were looking forward to having this matter heard. So, and I'll leave it up to you, but we're prepared to proceed.
Okay, thank you, Jeff. And I'm really sorry for this situation, but until we get clarification from the county, we like to process completed projects. And if they say this is completed, then we're all for it, you know. And if they say they're investigating or looking into it or need clarification from the applicant, then they'll pass that on to us.
Okay.
So
Well, again, Mr. Chairman, am I unmuted?
yes.
Okay, thank you. It's routine procedure that applications that come to you, they aren't necessarily accepted for processing, and in fact, rarely are. In fact, 90% of the times that even Locac may consider a matter, it has outstanding items that need to be submitted. So again, a county accepted application for processing is a fairly high bar, and you seldom see any projects that have formally been accepted. So unless there's some kind of change in the procedure at the county, I find this rather unusual.
Okay, Jeff, I understand your concerns. And if county comes back and says it's okay, we'll go right ahead. I'm just sorry for the delay. I know what you're saying.
Which staff person have you communicated with?
I'll have to look that up. I don't have that handy right
Okay,
at the minute.
that would be good to know. There's a couple staff people
Okay.
handling Los Osos. So
Okay.
thank you.
Okay.
We'll look forward to next time.
Yes. Looking forward to talking with you then. Moving on to the next project here, the Stambeck project. Are the folks here, this project has been changed again? If they'd like to make any comments on it or say anything about it. I see, Jeff, you've got your hand up again. Can we unmute Jeff?
Thank you. Yes.
There you go, Jeff.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'm representing the Stambecks here tonight on this matter. Frankly, there really haven't been many changes. In fact, the project that you saw last time is virtually identical. The only difference is in terms of the uses. And if you recall, this is a fairly modest remodel of a single family residence. And the current proposal is to construct office space above their garage that's existing, their detached garage. Now, the Stambecks have two small businesses, and presently they have an office, kind of a makeshift office in the existing garage. And then the second bedroom in their home is devoted to an office for the most part. So this project has generated some controversy. For the life of me, I don't know why. It's less intensified. There's less intensified than a bedroom addition in a residence. So again, it's moving offices into an upstairs second level over the garage, detached garage. and a small 370 square foot addition to their existing 997 square foot 2-bedroom home. So this is about as simple as it gets. And I would ask that you move this along to Locac at the end of the month with a recommendation for approval, and I'm available for any questions.
Okay. Any questions from any of the board members? Sue and Trish, or
The
Trish?
sorry, I have to use my phone. Something happened to my computer. I know this project was brought up and appealed to the Coastal Commission, and a letter was signed saying that this project was null and could not proceed. And Mr. Edwards, I know you signed that. So how does that work along with this project? I mean, if it's the same project, why is one not moving forward and then this one you're trying to move forward again? When you told the Coastal Commission you weren't moving forward with this project.
May I direct a reply through the chair?
Yes, go ahead, Jeff.
Okay, thanks. Thank you for the question, Trish. The application that was scheduled to be heard by the commission was withdrawn, and a brand new application was filed with the county. That's the matter before you this evening, is the new application with the change in use that is not a guest unit or guest quarters. It's simply a home office. So that physically, again, nothing substantial has changed. There were some minor revisions, but fundamentally the project's the same. It's the uses that are different. And again, these office uses are needed to accommodate the family's small business. It's not generating any additional occupancy of any kind. It couldn't be simpler.
And Jeff, does this still have the bathroom attached?
There is a half bath, a toilet and a sink in the office, in the pair of offices upstairs on the second level above the detached garage.
So there's two offices.
That's correct. They each have a small business. They have two offices now. The office that's in the existing garage, that's going to be reclaimed, if you will. It'll be removed. So they have an office for each of the individuals. It's a husband and wife. They have their own small businesses. In a post-COVID era, I mean, this is a no-brainer. There's a couple offices for this family. So
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, thank you, Jeff. Sue, you had your hand up, and then Robin, I see you've got your hand up.
Jeff, you haven't mentioned the bathroom that they're adding in the downstairs part of the original single family residence. How do we keep avoiding this new water use issue when water is such an issue? And, you know, it doesn't say anything about this bathroom and bedroom addition, except for that it's 370 square feet. But if we find the drawings way down in the bottom somewhere, we do see that they're planning to add yet another bathroom. But I just don't quite understand why you haven't mentioned that. You've gone out of your way not to mention that. Why it's so hard to find on the permit, and why we aren't talking about that as well.
Mr. Chairman, shall I?
Yes, go ahead, Jeff.
Thank you. Thank you for the question, Sue. The addition to the residential unit, it's not creating any additional occupancy. The primary determining factor in terms of water usage in a residence relates to the number of bedrooms. There's little correlation, if any, between the number of bathrooms in a residence as a function of water demand. So really, again, it's the number of bedrooms that that are determining in terms of water use. And I'll just remind the group that bedrooms are allowed in Los Osos without limitation, without retrofit requirements. Bathrooms, they aren't even an issue anywhere. So I didn't really find a need to talk about it because it's a non-issue in my estimation. But thank you for the question.
Okay. And then Robin, you had a question?
Well, yes, I'd like to just clarify and make something clear that this is being presented as a home office permit. But as far as the way the permits go with the county, a guest house / home office is what the permit is. It's the same thing from the permitting standpoint. So this is a guest house / home office.
Mr. Chairman, may I reply?
Yes, go ahead, Jeff.
Thank you. Thank you for the question, Robin. It's somewhat of a coincidence that in the coastal zone land use ordinance, that a home office and a guest quarters are under the same section. That's just the way it is. And in fact, when the Stambecks came to the county and talked about their desires, they had included or talked about a 3/4 bath in the upstairs. And the county said, well, if you're going to have a 3/4 bath, that is a shower, you might as well opt for the section of the ordinance that applies to guest quarters, because that, it's you can have a guest quarters. Well, that's not what they wanted. They never did want that. And so the project is a change in use. It just, again, happens to be that the home office is under the same coastal zone land use ordinance section. They have somewhat different provisions, so they're distinct. And what we did is we removed the shower in the bathroom upstairs as part of the office, so that it would remove any lingering idea that this was going to be for living quarters. Never was intended for living quarters, not going to be used for living quarters. And so hence the 3/4 bath was removed. But again, the fact that this is a home office under the same code section as the guest quarters is kind of irrelevant, really. But thank you.
Okay. Sue, I see you have your hand up again.
Thanks. I just have a quick question. Just something that I noticed on your plans that I would assume you would want to see removed, because you're saying, you're changing the use of the upstairs. I'm sorry, you're changing how you're naming the use of the upstairs. The sink has reappeared outside the bathroom. That originally for a guest house could have been used for, cooking or kitchen type things. And there's no indication of it up in the beginning, but on page 28 of your referral package, it's there again. It's under your shear wall schedule. It shows that you have a sink planned for there.
Okay. I lost it. Mr. Chairman, do you copy?
Yes, I'm here. Go ahead, Jeff.
Okay. So Sue, through the chair, is that a sink associated with a wet bar, or the sink in the bathroom?
The sink associated with the wet bar.
Okay. Excellent point. That is not intended to be included. That will be removed.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
Okay. So do we have any, thank you, Jeff. Thank you, for that. Do we have any members from the public that have any questions about this project or comments? And if so, raise your hand either on the screen or at the bottom. There's a way to raise your hand. I see George has your hand up. Somebody gonna unmute George.
Hey, can you hear me?
There we go. Yeah, there we go.
All right. Since there was a plan submitted before and then they changed it to get rid of the bedroom thing, were the plans changed? Were the rooms changed in size, or were the walls not changed and you just removed fixtures?
Jeff, do you want to answer that
Yes,
question?
thank you for the question. Generally, the configuration of the improvements has not changed appreciably. As I mentioned, the 3/4 bath, the bath with a shower, the shower has been removed, so it's going to be a half bath.
Were the walls moved when you made that removal?
I don't believe there have been any substantial changes in the walls, no.
Okay, well, thank you.
Mhm.
Okay. Let's see. Lisa Denker, I see your hand up.
Yeah, hi, good evening. Yeah, having seen this project submitted before and hearing the homeowners and their intent, it really contradicts how you're pitching this project currently. And I just think that with the amount of space dedicated to office, it's a little unclear whether it will, the office space, the home occupation will be incidental and subordinate to the primary use of single family residential. And that's a Title 23 thing. And there's a whole list of terms there that if this is built and this goes through, the homeowners will have to satisfy home occupation Title 23 into the future. And I just really want that on the record, because there are many things, requirements there.
Okay. Jeff, did you want to make a comment on that?
I don't think it's necessary. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Any other comments or questions from members of the public? Okay. Would anyone like to make a motion on this project?
Oh, before a motion,
Oh.
may I make one more comment?
Okay, go ahead, Sue.
Thank you, Larry. The thing that we haven't really talked about yet is the water use, and how we have made a commitment through Locac to support withholding a recommendation on these new water use additions until it can be proven that we have a sustainable water supply. I believe the Coastal Commission is working on that now. We hope it's not going to be that too long in the future that we will have some definitive news from them. There are 2 places in the LCPs that specifically say that there should be no building permits granted by the county until the sustainability of a water supply can be proven. And they're not really following that, but it is in writing, it's a rule. So I think that we all really need to remember our support of this idea that we are not denying a recommendation. We are glad to have heard what you have said about the project, because it's part of the minor use project and we appreciate being a part of it. But Locac is asking that we withhold the recommendation for now, based on the fact that this is generating new water use. So I just wanted to say that before we make a motion.
Okay. Jeff, I see your hand is up to make a comment on this. Do make a comment, but try to keep it short, please.
Very short, Mr. Chairman. I understand that's the position that the Land Use Committee has taken in many residential projects. and you're certainly welcome to your opinion. The simple fact in the matter before you is this is not an intensification of use at all. These are two people that live in the house, and they're going to continue two people in the home. There's no intensification, and so there would be no expected increase in water demand whatsoever. So on that basis, I would ask that you recommend approval, since there is no water issue in this matter. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Jeff. Okay, so anyone again care to make a motion? Lynette?
Like to make a motion that we approve this project and put it on the consent calendar at the next Locac meeting.
Okay. All in favor of that motion, signify by raising your
There's no
hand.
second. There is no
Have a
second.
Second,
You need a second.
Oh, was there a second? I'm not hearing a second. Okay, the motion does not make it as a motion as there was no second to it. Anyone else want to come up with a motion? Sue?
Sure, I'll just make our general motion that we've been making, that we appreciate the project, and we are assuming that they're doing everything right as the county is asking of them. But at this point in time, because of the drought and the concerns of our water basin, we are withholding a recommendation for this project.
Okay, is there a second to that motion?
I'll second.
Okay, Trish? All in favor of that motion, signify
Aye.
by raising a hand.
And can I get a count, because I'm on my phone and I can't see everybody?
Oh. So Larry, aye.
Five people.
Aye.
Robin, Sue, Yael, Larry, and Trish.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, thank you. And Lynette,
Okay, all
I'm
all
no,
those opposed?
he's a no. Thank you.
I'm a no.
Okay. Okay, well, that covers that. And I think that's draws an end to our meeting tonight. That's it. It's, again, I'm reading in the paper, and Yale, I'll get to you in a minute, of having meetings in public again. So this is something we're going to have to be discussing with the land use meeting and with Locac, and see if we can get our old place back at the Sea Pines. And we'll keep the public informed about this if it does come about or anything does come about. Yale, you had something to something?
I'm wondering if there is any progress towards working more in concert, in coordination with the county, because it's really not fair for the county to issue permits. People are paying for them, and then they're coming to us. And I'm not saying that just because we do not recommend, they're not going to be able to build, as we know. But this whole dance, and contradictory messages, it's not healthy. I mean, it makes me feel very uncomfortable. And it does not induce good, trusting feeling in the county or in Locac, or it's just not fair. So I mean, and I know that we discuss it talking to the county. I mean, I would really recommend that we need to get serious about that and talk to them, and really demand some kind of consideration.
Yeah, well, they're having discussions, as you know, Carrie Brown is stepping sideways, and a new person is replacing him. So they're having some changes going on in the county, and we'll have to see how that all shakes out.
Yeah, but she's not the policy making. They're not the level of policy making, either her or Corey Hahn. So I think it's coming from above. I mean, that would be my feeling about it.
Yeah, and I think they're getting the idea too, and being concerned about the drought. Okay.
Yeah, because if we don't do something, even with even without issuing permits, we're going to dry up. So I think the county has to do something regardless.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, I want to thank everybody for coming for tonight's meeting.
Thank
Have a
you.
wonderful week ahead and enjoy.
Okay, thank you.
Night all.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.